Right. Hey, Sean.
Hi, Pat. How are you doing?
All right. Yeah, good, you?
Yeah, all right, mate, all right.
Good. Warm enough for you?
Yeah, it's almost a little bit too warm, isn't it? But we don't want to say that.
No, we're never happy, are we?
Nah.
Have you been grafted?
Yeah. Yeah.
Is it you ain't been outside in this, have you?
No.
No.
No, I've just been plastering a bit of kitchen today, so
yeah,
not too bad.
Good.
Did it? I guess the news didn't work out how you wanted it to.
No, we've had.
Or did you suspect it might be that way anyway?
Yeah. You know, I was kind of. I don't know whether out of desperation or whatever, I got myself sort of in the camp that we were going to open along with the sort of hospitality sector.
Yeah.
I didn't see it as there was too much difference between us, you know. But
yeah, I think there's a lot of difference, and I think going to the gym isn't half as dangerous as going to a pub with a.
Yeah. Hey, Alison.
Hiya.
Yeah.
Up. I'm going to go and come back again.
Okay, no worries.
It's doing something odd. It's you.
No problem.
Okay.
Yeah, I thought the same, Sean. But yes, well, what can you do? We're just along for the ride, aren't we? We can jump up and down and stamp our feet, but it's not going to get us anywhere.
Yeah. I just think in Britain, the pub thing is like it's a national institution, isn't it? So,
and I think that the money that it brings in, like the hospitality sector, it brings in much more than the health. I mean, it's growing is the health and fitness sector.
Yeah.
But it isn't anywhere near the pubs, clubs, bars, restaurants, that sort of stuff. Having said that, the clubs are shut, aren't they? The nightclubs and stuff.
Yeah.
So you know, I just don't know how long I can survive it. You know, it's like you just.
It's got to be enough. You know, what is it? July the 4th at the pubs and hospitality stuff.
Yeah.
So at most, it's got to be another couple of weeks till you can get running, hasn't it?
I'd like to think so. I'm just watching.
Can't be any more than that.
They're just bleeding away.
Unless there's a spike or whatever.
Yeah,
but
it's very, very challenging. This, you know, we've survived some tough times in the past, like 2008 recession. The landlord wanted us out, you know, in what was it, 2000 and when did we move? 2016, didn't we? You know, both tough times, but this is a tough one. This, so you know, it's hard, but it's hard for everybody, I guess, isn't it? Some industries are, you know, taking it harder than others, like us and the sort of travel industry, I suppose, the going on holidays. Yeah.
Nightmare.
Yeah. Right then, so I ain't got my workout sheets. So upper body push today then. Got my workout sheet here. So collectively hitting the chest, shoulders and triceps as we traditionally do on these days. Couple of movements for chest, couple of movements for triceps. Today's theme is trying to combine a hypertrophy based movement where we focus on the quality of the contraction, the quality of the movement, with something that's performed a little bit faster, a little bit more explosive, a little bit more sort of plyometric in nature. So we've got some supersets for chest, shoulders and triceps, coupled with just a straight set, just to finish them off at the end really. So 3 movements for each muscle group. It's really, really hot. So the only thing we need to do for our sort of warm up today is make sure that we've got plenty of mobility, plenty of recruitment, and we've got our sort of shoulders in the right place, and we've got our sort of mindset as far as body positions go for the rest of the workouts.
Yeah.
So we'll start with chest then after a little bit of a warm up. If you've got a couple of light dumbbells, great. We'll start with body weight to start with, just to mobilise the sort of trunk and the shoulders, and then we'll probably do a little bit of loaded warm ups, just try and get a little bit of blood in those shoulders, and then we'll crack on. We'll get going. Right. Just put this on mute 1 minute. Oh, hang on, what have I done here? Participants don't know what I'm doing. Mute. All. Okay. Okay, let's start with the hip hinge, and then we can work our way up from the hips. So let's just hinge at the hips and then come up. Make sure that our sort of midsection and lower back, really just looking after that lower back, activating the glutes, trying to get a little bit of a stretch out of those hamstrings as we tip at the pelvis, snapping the hips through. I mean, moving like this anyway is going to quickly raise the body temperature in these conditions anyway. Couple more. All right, let's get a little bit of rotation through that midsection. Remember to free the feet up, free the knees up, so that you don't get any rotational forces finding their way into the knees. It's all at that midsection, so let your feet pivot. Just thinking about the ranges of movement, planes of movement through these hips. Into the side of the torso now then. Just ease over. Trying to stretch out the lats, intercostals. Obliques on the side of the torso a little bit. Just popping a little bit of length into the side of that trunk. And then we'll get into the upper back and chest next. All right, so give yourself a hug and then open up those thumbs. Stretching out the mid-back, rhomboids, rear delts, traps, and then taking these thumbs behind to stretch out the chest and a bit of front shoulder. So that horizontal plane into that vertical plane. A bit more front shoulder based. Did a bit of shoulders earlier. A little bit of external rotation. And we can load it in just a second. Big circles first. Just a few. Change over. All right, then take those nice light dumbbells, whatever you've got to hand. Doesn't need to be loads of reps. Bit of loaded external rotation first. Just getting a bit of blood into the shoulders now. Into that overhead press. Just some side raises. In fact, I'll tell you what we'll go for. Scapular depression, retraction, tip of the pelvis. Let's get that scapula set. Squeeze those shoulder blades together. We can come into that row now. So row, external rotation to press. Just a few of them. And that's good, that'll do. So nice short warm up today. Already got a sweat on, simply by way of the fact it's 30 degrees outside, or whatever it is. Okay, so make sure we've got plenty of fluids to hand. You're going to need some slide pads, slide pad alternatives. So if you're on your carpet, Tupperware dish lids, or Tupperware lids, wooden floors, hard floors, a couple of cloths. Help us do a little bit of slide stuff in just a second. So the first two exercises that we're going to twin together for the chest, the superset, we're going to do the adducted push-up where we drop and twist across, drop and twist across. So that's been making a regular appearance for us. We're going to try and do as many as we can, maybe 12 to 15 reps, good quality reps maybe. And then we're going to go straight into a pop push-up. So that's simply a standard push-up because we're just going to pop and try and get some air. So we're going to go adducted push-ups as many as we can until form leaves us. And that's our slow and controlled, our squeeze. We're not looking to rush the reps. We're thinking about the negative portion of the rep, thinking about the squeeze at the peak. trying to get the chest recruited. So we're not really worried about the amount of reps. We are worried about the quality of the reps and the time under tension. And then what we can do then is we can just move faster afterwards into a standard push-up. We're trying to pop our hands off. If you can't do them full, you can drop to your knees. It's perfectly fine. And try and equal the amount of reps across the two. We've got 3 supersets of those by way of the chest being that bigger muscle group, and it's that first exercise. So we're generally quite fresh. So that's, we'll get straight into it then. So that's the first one that we're looking for. Pop this at the bottom. There we go. So adducted push-ups first, where we get that similar movement at the joint. So we can't bring the arm across, but relative motion, we can bring the torso across and achieve the same thing. All right then, so let's see how we get on. Think about the negative. I'm not worried about you thrashing out a load of reps. And if you want the quality of the reps to be high, work off the knees. All right, so the first portion of this then is as many adducted push-ups as we can do. So I'm going to come down to the floor there, chest down, up and squeeze my chest across. Same the other side. I'm not worried about rep count. I am worried about full range and time under tension. Squeeze the chest. Focus your mind on the muscles that are supposed to be doing the work. Moving that torso across, that planted hand. Couple more for me. This one. I think that might be 11. One more then. Oh, first part done. Now into the pop push-ups. All we're doing here is looking to pop the hands, moving a bit faster. You can still control the negative. Oh, 6. Got to keep going. Got to equal the reps off my knees then. Tough first set. 12 good adducted push-ups into 12 pop push-ups. First 6 of the pop push-ups full. Second 6 off my knees. Feel it on the chest already. Good breather. We're going to try and run that 2 more times. So if I've got 12 and 12 there, to accommodate for a little bit of fatigue moving forwards, I can maybe go for 10 and 10 second set. Then maybe 8 and 8 third set or something, just to allow for that fatigue setting in across the sets. Looking to hit about 10 working sets today. So we've got 3 working sets here. Well, 10 to 12 working sets maybe. 3 working sets here, 2 working sets on some negatives for the chest, 2 working sets for the shoulders, and then some isolation for the shoulders. So that's, what's that? 3, 4, 6, 7. Triceps. 2 working sets, slow to fast, 8, 9. Maybe 11 working sets, 11, 12 working sets. Plenty. All right, hopefully we're feeling a bit of recovery through the chest, shoulders, triceps. We're going to run this second set. Same as the first. Pick your rep range and really try and shoot for it. So as soon as you feel ready, let's have another go then. Adducted push-ups to start us off. Chest down to the floor. Up and squeeze across. Up and squeeze across. Squeeze your chest as you squeeze across. All right, so we're getting that roll of the chest. That adduction, which you don't get when you simply press or do push-ups. You've got to get that hand moving across the torso. 7, 8, 9. One more for me anyway. 10, I think that was 10. Into the pops, chest down, pop. Off the knees for the last 5. Two sets done. That's tough. Warmed up quite quickly. Take your fluids in very regularly today. Very easy to get dehydrated in these conditions. Take them fluids in. Little breather there. Third set coming up in just a second. Feel it in my chest already. 2 sets in. Oh, it's nice and cold, that. Another 30 seconds or so then. I get this third set done. So I've got 12 10s. 8s would be a nice result now. 8, 9, something like. If the reps are good. Not mega fussed about the rep count, but more the quality of the reps, the time that I can keep that, so those chest muscles under load. All right, let's start to get ready for this final set. Okay, here we go then. As soon as you feel good, feel ready, let's get this final set done before we move on to something isolated for the chest to finish the chest off. Chest down, up and across. 2, 3, 4. Control that descent. 5. Get the best of the negative phase. 6. Oh, come on. 8. Onto the pops. Oh, it's left me. Knees to finish them then. Oh. Oh. Whew. Right, 3 sets done. Whew. Into a little bit of isolation for the chest next. So we're going to work on the negative phase. We're going to do some of these negative slide negative fly, so that we're getting that time and attention on the negatives. We're not going to get so much concentric work, but we've already done plenty of that here. So it's just trying to get that muscle fiber damage on the negative. So onto my slippery floor, get set up over here. Give you a quick reminder. You'll remember these though, we've been doing these a while. So I've got my cloths. Oops. I'll demonstrate this one just quickly off my knees, just so that you can remember. So shoulders over the hands, get a little start on it, and then I'm just sliding these out. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Up I come, up to the top, however you want to do. Really focus on time and attention on that negative. You'll feel those muscle fibers under load as they lengthen, or firing away as they lengthen. And that's what's going to give us that muscle fiber damage and hopefully stimulate that development of our muscle tissue. Signaler for muscle protein synthesis. 6 reps now, 2 sets. If we get 6-second negatives, then we know we've got 40 seconds of load. 40 seconds of load is what we're sort of looking for muscular development purposes, if we can. So pick your poison. Full ones are tough. Off the knees are going to be tough because you've got 40 seconds of load. It's just going to be tough. So take your pick. Good descent, good negatives, good 6-second descent with every rep, and let's see how we get on. Just going to put this under my knees. If you're on a hard floor, look after your knees. It's not just not comfortable on the hard floor. If you haven't got anything, that's better. All right then, as soon as you're good, away we go. 6, 5, 2, 1. Three. 4. 5. Last one. Squeezing those shoulder blades together. Lead with the chest. Oh, 6 reps of them. Felt that. Hard work today in this heat. And this is the coolest spot in the gym here, this bit. So it'll be tougher for you guys in your front rooms. I think it'll be hotter in your houses, I reckon. We're going to do 2 sets of these. Can certainly feel that in the chest. So 1 more set of these to go. 6-second descent. Take yourself back to the top however you want. And then working on the negative portion of these reps. One more of these, and then we're into the shoulder session, or shoulder portion of this session. Let the chest recover. Okay, let's get the second set done. So get yourself set, get yourself ready. We're looking for 6 quality reps, 6-second descent. Take yourself back to the top however you can. Take your hips with you into this movement. Scapula back, lead with the chest. 6 seconds on the way down. Oh, gets harder the closer you get to the floor, of course. Get the negatives. 2. Halfway there. 2 more. Oh, last one. Oh, tough at the end then, just about right. 6 reps with 6 seconds. Just feel the technique breaking away at the end. I couldn't control the descent. Chest portion of this workout done. Fluids in again then. Just gone 20 past, so we're all right for time. So, quick chat about the shoulder workout then while we recover, get some fluids on board, chest recovers. Power push-aways. That's our controlled movement. The nature of the name, power push-aways. Kind of, yeah, you know, you're going to have to drive into the concentric, but control the descent. And there's going to be time under tension there. And then we've got donkey kicks, where we raise our feet off the floor and we dive into the floor with our sort of shoulders leading the hips. That eccentrically loads the shoulders. All right, so and that's our sort of faster, explosive movement, but it's with eccentric loading on that one. Then our isolation. So we've just finished an isolation for chest at the end. We're going to do the same for shoulders. Our isolation for shoulders are those plank rear delt twists, where we hit the medial and the rear part of the shoulder, just to try and complement this front shoulder work. These movements are quite front delt dominant. So there's the movements. Let's get set up. Power push-aways into donkey kicks. I'll give you a quick reminder. Our power push-aways we're in the piked position, of course. So what I want on these is I want to come down in almost like a shoulder press and then drive up. So we're going to try and hit as many of those as we can. Your mule kicks or donkey kicks. So I want to be crouched over and I'm going to drop into the shoulders and then back. 1, 2, 3, 4, and you'll feel the shoulders fire as your weight drops into the floor, into that sort of nosedive sort of position, if you like. I can already feel that. 3 or 4 demonstration reps there. I can already feel that on my shoulders. So that's our superset. Power push aways into the donkey kicks or mule kicks, whatever you want to call them. It's going to be very tough. I'm normally hitting fatigue on these power push aways about 8 to 10. So whatever it is that you feel that you can do by keeping your hips high, we're going to try and equal the amount of reps across both. So if you get 10, try and shoot for 10. Mule kicks, vice versa. All right, then let's start this shoulder session. Power push aways to start us off. Hips high, coming down into the floor. You're trying to mimic that shoulder press position, military press position in the gym. Here we go. Controlling the descent. Before driving a bit harder into the push away. Right. 10, all right, feel all right there. So let's get 2 more. That was harder. 12. Okay, not resting too much. It's supposed to be a superset. Down on those haunches. Here we go. Set. Set. Oh, that was hard. 12 of each. Oh, a little rest. Got the ticker going as well. Always the more explosive movements get the heart rate up a little bit. Superset by nature gets the heart rate up as well, stringing the movements together. Plus I can feel it on my shoulders as opposed to my chest. I could feel the chest workout just for the previous 15 minutes, which is good. Now I can already feel that on my shoulders, which is what we want really. We want to be feeling it on the muscles that are supposed to be doing the work. Good breather. Let those shoulders recover. We're only going to do 2 sets of these. Smaller muscle group, the shoulders. Doesn't need quite as much volume of work as the big muscle groups on the front of the torso, the chest. Plus, we always hit the chest first when we're fresh. Just needs that little bit more stimulus. The shoulders pick up fatigue when you're training your chest. Hence the reason it doesn't need quite as much volume. Plus, if you do endless volume, you just run out of time at the end. So it's making it sort of quality over quantity almost. Another few seconds then, and we'll hit our second and final superset for the shoulders, to the initial workout for the shoulders, initial exercise for the shoulders. Right then, let's get set. Power push aways, start us off. I've got 12s then. So I think I've got 12s. Well, I'm going to shoot for 10s this time anyway. 10 of each on this second set I'll be really, really happy with. As soon as you guys are ready and happy, let's kick them off. Let's get them going. Here we go. Good descent. then push. Keep the hips high. Try and push vertically. Oh, that's it. All right, then let's get into mule kicks, donkey kicks. I'm going to sit down on my haunches and get right up if I can. Reset. Six. Eight. 9. One more. 10. Oh, another breather. Oh, shoulders are cooking now. Oh, heart rate's going as well. So that's our 2 supersets done to start our shoulder workout. Very front shoulder dominant, those 2 movements, simply by nature of those movements. We're very limited with how you can recruit your shoulders with just body weight. So yeah, we've hit, I can really feel it on this front part of my shoulder. It's perfectly fine, but we do now need to try and make some provisions to try and hit the middle and the rear, which is where this second movement comes in. I'll give you a demonstration in just a second. Take some fluids on. So our second movement in just a sec, we're going to do our plank rotations, 2 sets left, 2 sets right, just to try and get that medial and rear recruitment to offset what we've done on the front of the shoulder. We're going to focus the same as we did on the chest a minute ago. We're going to try and work some 6-second negatives if we can. The more you turn into the reps, the harder the load. Okay, 6-second negatives. If we can get 6 reps, swap over to the other side. 6 and 6 twice over. We know we've got plenty of good time and attention, particularly on the negative portion of the lift. So a quick reminder of how these reps look. We've got our side plank, and we know relative motion at the joint. I can do that with my arm, or I can leave my arm fixed, and I can do that with my torso. It's the same movement, it's the same muscle groups. It's called relative motion, right? And that's how we're going to get this lateral or sort of posterior delt raise, if we can, or the middle and the rear delt. So you want to come into the plank, arm up makes it harder. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and then drive back up. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and then drive back up. And that relative motion of the torso is going to mimic the side rear delt raise that you would do with a dumbbell or do with the cables in the gym. It's the same movements, same muscles. It's just done with body weight because that's all we got. All right then, so I'm going to go for 6 reps each side, 6-second negative each time, good slow count. Keep this torso braced at all times. Of course, you're going to get a core workout as well, which is good. So let's hit it then. Let's get your torso to turn 90 degrees using 6 seconds to get you there. Here we go. 4, 3, 2, 1, and up. Halfway for me on this left side. 2 to do left side. That's 1. Oh, a little breather. Not long. I want to get into my right side as quickly as I can. but I want to make sure I've got adequate recovery enough in my core to hold body position to get this shoulder to work. All right, so a couple of recovery breaths into the right side, same thing. Here we go. 6 seconds. Halfway right side. Oof. 2 to do. Last one. Good 6 seconds. Oh, hard work. Lots of core. Lots of shoulders. Lots of bracing of the body, which is going to push the blood pressure up a little, which in turn pushes the heart rate up. Gets the ticker pumping a bit. Minutes breather. We're going to hit our second and final set with those. So we got 3 working sets for 5 working sets for chest, 4 working sets for shoulders, 3 or 4 working sets for triceps in a minute. So good volume across the 3. Feel that in my shoulders. Good. Nice bloody warm. "15 seconds or so then, and let's get this second set of isolated work for the shoulders done. So we had the compound movements for chest, the isolation for chest, compound movements for shoulders. Now we're on to the isolation stuff for shoulders. And after this movement, we're going to have a look at our tricep workout. All right, let's get set up then. Last time round on this isolation movement for the shoulders, good shoulder strength builder, hitting the rear part of the shoulder, the often neglected. Everyone's very strong here because of all the pressing they do. No one hits the rears and everything's out of balance and everything's pulled in. You get this kyphosis. So you've got to hit the rear delts. Here we go then. Up hips, don't let your hips drop. Oh, drive those hips up. Oh, halfway. Okay, 2 to do. Last one, come on. Hips. Oh, shoulders and core. 2 or 3 recovery breaths. Okay, right side. Same thing. Here we go. 6 good ones, 6 seconds. Halfway there. Me anyway. Two to do. Okay, last one. Oh, surprisingly, shoulders and core again, or unsurprisingly, I should say. Good breather. That's the end of the shoulders. So chest done, shoulders done. Fluids on board now while we have a little bit of a chat about what's coming for triceps. Oh, that was tough. Got a good sweat on now. Whew. Right, chest done, shoulders done, triceps next. Elbow extension and shoulder extension. All right, so extension of the shoulders and elbow extension of the elbow is what the triceps are responsible for. So we've got a superset again. We've got some dips, which we're going to do in a controlled fashion. And then we're going to immediately go into like a little pop tricep extension off the knees. It's the safest position to be in. Without any equipment, it's hard to do tricep stuff explosively with your body weight because there's a lot of your body weight in relation to the amount of muscle mass that's in the triceps without involving this and involving this. So we're going to modify our tricep extensions to get a bit more explosion out of it. We'll go over the technique in just a sec. Another one. What time is it? 22. Great. We've got maybe 10 or 12 minutes on the triceps. 15 minutes maybe. And then we've got, no, not 15 minutes, 10, 12 minutes on the triceps. And then we've got a bit of a stretch off. So you're going to need your chairs. This one, dips. I'll show you the movements. So I'm going to position my two chairs so that my backside can fall into the gap. And then I know that I'm working vertically. So I haven't got, I'm minimizing that sort of horizontal. Some people move horizontally when they do the dips. You want to be moving vertically. So I've got a nice gap between the chairs. We've all done these dips before. So you want to point your elbows behind you as best you can. Flexibility, it all depends on how much thoracic extension you've got. It all depends on how tight you are through the front of this torso. There's loads of factors that are going to determine whether you can get those elbows pinned back behind you. Well, you should try as best you can. And we've got the dips. So I want to control these reps, slow and controlled. Squeeze. Good descent, good negative. Squeeze, looking for right angles. So we don't want to go any deeper than that because we're going to over recruit this front shoulder. So right angles is far enough. So we're going to go for maybe as many sort of dips as you can do with good form and a good negative. Now the explosive movement, which we're going to do second, is going to be a variant of the one that we're familiar with off the knees here. So all I'm going to do, the traditional way to do these reps is there. All I'm going to try and do is pop. And that gives, you're on your knees, you can see what's in front of you. And that's going to give you some time to have a look at your sort of landing and plant your landing with your hands. You're on your knees, it's nice and safe, there's not too far to go. And the nature of it means you're going to drive and explode and get those fast twitch fibers, and it becomes a bit more plyometric. And you're catching on the descent, you're loading the eccentric by catching down at the bottom. So it's a very different muscular contraction to the dip. All right, so the two are going to complement each other really well when we do it this way. And it follows the theme of the rest of the workout that we've done. Controlled into explosive, controlled into explosive. And same for the triceps, controlled into explosive. We're going to try and hit 2 good sets. So let's give it a shot then. Into your tricep dips to start with. So good grip, butt of the hand, head up, chest out. So, another point on the dips, the gravity is going to pull you into scapular elevation. That's not where we want to be when we dip. You must get scapular depression. That's where we want to work from, scapular depression. Get those lower traps working for you, pulling that scapula down, get these shoulders away from the ears. If you're working through your set and you feel them creeping up, try your best to correct it. Shoulders down, depress those shoulders, scapular depression. All right, here we go. Good negative. And squeeze. Focus on your triceps. Reset your scapula after every rep. If you feel your shoulders coming up, you press your scapula at the top of the rep. 6. Squeeze the triceps at the top. Be tall. Do your reps. 9. And that will keep your shoulders away from your ears. 10. Come on, 2 more. Squeezing the triceps. Into these more explosive reps now. I've got 12 there, so I want 12 again. Stretch at the bottom. Drive up. Elbows tucked down. Oh, that was hard. Got 12 and 12, but 4, my triceps are on fire. Whew. That's good though. I like trying the triceps. You can feel that in the back of the arm. First third of the workout felt here. Second third of the workout felt here. And this bit, already feel my triceps doing the work. It's good. So elbows are tucked all the time on that second portion of the movement. Explode out, catch, and control that descent. So you get a real fast, explosive, fast twitch fiber recruiting, plyometric, shortening the muscle, concentric, and you got to catch and control, and that loads the eccentric. So there's value to moving fast, as much as there's value to moving slowly. Use both. Use everything that you've got in your toolbox. Another 30 seconds. We're going to have another superset. Tough one today. Feeling this one. I think the heat is contributing to the fatigue as well. All right, let's get set up for these dips then. Second superset and the last one that we're doing before we move into our isolated movement for our triceps at the end with the same theme, with that controlled negative that we did for the chest and shoulders. We're going to mirror that for the triceps in just a second. But first up, we've got to get this second superset. So I got 12s last time, so set my target, set my stall out. Got to be at least 10, hasn't it? Here we go. Controlled, now squeeze. Control, now squeeze. Save the drive for the second half, the second exercise. Control. Time under tension. These reps are slow. You get that squeeze at the top. Focus on your triceps. Head up, chest out. Scapula down. Triceps are hurting now. 2 more. Squeeze. Squeeze them. Now you can move quickly. All right, here we go. Still get the stretch at the bottom. Throw yourself as high as you can with your triceps. Oh, 10. Oh, that hurt. Oh. It's tough. Recovery there. Little breather now. Give the triceps a chance to recover before we move into our final movement of the day. We're going to do a tiger push-up. We're going to do it off the knees, and we're going to focus on the negative. So the slide negatives for chest, we've got a 6-second negative. The plank rotations for the shoulders, we've got a 6-second negative. All right, we're going to do the same thing. Off the knees, 6 reps, 6-second descent, let the forearms touch the floor, drive to the top, and then we're going to go again. We have a little rest first though. time is it? 10-2. Doing all right. So another few seconds rest. We've got 2 sets of these tiger push-ups to do. Then we're into our stretch off. So what's that? So 3 working sets, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So 13 working sets. Okay, technique time. Let's have a look at these tiger push-ups. I'm going off my knees now because there's mega fatigue in my chest, shoulders and triceps. And it's going to take the emphasis off my core as well, allowing me to concentrate. I don't want my core to fail before my triceps. So from here, hands down on the floor there. Elbows tucked nice and close to each other. You can have your palms on the floor if you like, or the butt of the hand if you like. So what we're going to do, I'm going to drive up. That's where I'm squeezing my triceps. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. As soon as that forearm hits the floor, drive up. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Drive up. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And if we discipline with the count and we look for 6 reps, we're going to get 40 seconds of load. We're going to get 36 seconds of negatives, and then we've got the drive up to the top, which is going to give us 40 seconds of load. We're going to run it twice. That's going to finish off our triceps. So get yourself set up in your tiger push-ups off your knees. Negative is the priority. Keep your elbows close together. Don't fast count it. Be disciplined. And let's work through this first set. Take your hips with you. So you don't want your hips, don't go back on your hips. Take your hips into the lift. And then you know that's going to challenge you just that little bit more. Okay, here we go. As soon as you're ready, away you go. Elbows close. Two to go. Hard now. 6, 4, 3, 2, 1. I don't think that was quite 40 seconds, but it wasn't far away. Got a bit of a fast count, I think, towards the bottom of those reps for some of them, but as long as you're aware and you're trying to correct it, you correct it for the next set. Oh, that was hard on the triceps. Oh. 60 seconds breather. We're going to run that again. Final set for your triceps. Get that extended negative, building that time under tension. Whew. It's tough on the triceps, that one. Last few seconds recovery. We're going to run the same thing. Last set now before we have a good stretch off through chest, shoulders and triceps. Right, let's get set up. Final time through. Setting up off those knees. Take your hips into the lift with you. Here we go. Drive up. Now is 6 seconds. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Then a drive. Your counts. Two to do for me. Come on. Core kicking in a bit. Last one. I'm glad that's over, to be honest. Feel that in the back of my arms. As soon as you're ready, up you come. Chest, shoulders, triceps done. Some good work there. Controlled reps into explosive plyometric reps. Isolated negatives at the end to finish off each muscle group. So good theme, good stimulus. Still just using body weight. Still getting great workouts with body weight. That's what it's all about, really. So let's get some stretches done. Let's think about these muscle groups that we want to stretch. Chest, shoulders, triceps, of course. So reverse engineer the contraction. That way is the primary role for the chest. Reverse engineer it for the stretch. So externally rotate first and take these thumbs out behind. Stretch out the chest. Lead with that chest. Put a little pulse on it if you want. Get those deeper fibers. Stretch out and open up the chest. We don't want this to stay tight, go tight, pulls into kyphosis. Get that chest out. And relax there. Good stuff. Shoulders, front shoulder. Pull the arms up the mid back. Nice and high. And then put your chest out. There's your chest that you stretch for your front shoulder. Bit of chest as well, but a little bit more front shoulder in this one. Hold that point of discomfort. What you want to do here is get those elbows back. So don't let those elbows peel around into internal rotation. Get everything back. That's where you want to be. Holding it there. Stretch out the front part of the shoulder. And relax there. From front to middle, there's the fibers. That orientation, that's what they're responsible for. So I want to pull my hand into the reverse of the contraction there. And you can see the fibers on stretch. That's what we're looking for. Palm up and scoop and lift. Get that the medial part of your shoulder on stretch. Same the other side. Down, scoop and lift. And that's going to get you middle shoulder, a bit of rears as well. But we're going to get to them in a minute. But middle shoulder there. Pull it into your torso and up. Stretching that shoulder. And relax. Rear shoulder. We did some rears earlier on. Rear part of the shoulder is responsible for horizontal abduction, and a little bit of external rotation is the rear delts are responsible for. So let's reverse it. So palm down, take it across and scoop it up, but this time have your palm down, and you're going to get a little bit more of those. Just maybe I'm not quite still leaning enough in the shoulders just to see those fibers on stretch. Not getting too fat just yet. Just lock down eating. So you scoop it up, but this time instead of having the palms up, try and have the palm down. You get that rear delt. And change over. Scoop it up. And lastly, we know we've got the tricep. It's a bit easier to stretch the tricep. We can influence the tricep at the shoulder, and we can influence the tricep at the elbow. So do both. Up with the shoulder, into elbow, flexion, stretches out that tricep. Bit of flexibility to finish the session, and change over. And there's your workout. Well done, guys. Good stuff. What time is it? Bang on 7 o'clock. How about that? Not late for a change.
Cheers, Pat.
Pleasure, Sean. Thanks for joining us, mate. On this hot day, most people looked at it and thought, no, not today for me.
No problem.
Thanks.
Well done, Alison. Thank you. So, bit of upper back and mid back tomorrow if you're about.
Yeah, I'll be about, mate.
Okay, great stuff. I'll catch up with you
Cheers,
tomorrow.
Matt.
Cheers. Cheers. See you later.